Let's go. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Grapple Chat. NXT TakeOver Chicago, June the 16th, 2018, man. All the numbers in the world cannot begin to equate to how many numbers of stars this event should get. I hope Dave Meltzer is looking at his rating scale right now and being like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the heck? I bet you he promised. I bet you he promised he would never give a whole event as many stars as he's considering right now. And man, it is worthy. It is very worthy, man. Let me start this off with a somewhat somber note. Okay, the somber note I want to start this off with is I see the amount of people who watch NXT events. I saw it when I looked today on YouTube during the pre-show of NXT Takeover Chicago. I looked at how many people were watching WWE's official pre-show live stream, and it was like 5,000 people. Out of the entire world of wrestling fans, 5,000 people happen to actually care about the pre-show of this in comparison to the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands who watch pre-shows for WWE main event roster pay-per-views. And this is not, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. I understand the casual fan is only going to really care about what WWE is advertising on the USA Network, and that's something that needs to change on WWE's side of things as well. They need to start promoting uh, NXT a little bit harder on the main roster shows. At least advertising when they're going to have a takeover, because I'm not seeing anything like that. I watched Raw, I watched SmackDowns, I watch NXT, and what I'm seeing is NXT promotes NXT, but the main roster they spend all their time just telling you what you already know and interrupting matches during SmackDown and during Raw to tell you about the pay-per-view that's coming up. And I understand why they would do that, but you could at least put in here and there a little bit of advertisement for NXT, because day in, day out, week in, week out, pay-per-view in, pay-per-view out, NXT turns out the finest in-ring product that the WWE does, period. Um, Stop it. Get some help. Exactly. Honestly, it's about time that the main roster starts doing something. And not I'm talking about the athletes themselves. I'm talking about the WWE. Just take a second and just advertise these pay-per-view events for NXT, because honestly, when people see this, they might be scared actually. Maybe that's why they don't do it. Maybe they're scared because they know once people start seeing what is capable under the WWE umbrella, that they might start holding the main roster a little bit more accountable for their lack of effort, and their lack of attention to detail, and their lack of just telling compelling stories in the ring, outside of the ring. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're just scared. That might be it. They don't want to have to level up the rest of their product and spend as much time and effort as they spend on NXT, obviously. So maybe that's it. Could make sense. Maybe that makes sense. I think that could make sense. All right, so we're gonna time you out. There's always got to be one, man. There's always got to be one. You gotta chill, man. Don't be telling my bot to shut up, and don't come in here typing all capital letters and getting mad when the bot tells you don't type all capital letters. Obviously, that's one of the rules of the chat. So just chill, man. You got yourself 300 seconds to think about it, and when you come back, hopefully you'll be a little bit more cordial towards my chat and just hang out with us. Because honestly, you said the same thing 3 times. We saw you the first time, dude. All right, back to it. Sometimes I gotta watch wrestling. Sometimes I gotta wrestle with the chat a little bit, guys. Okay, I handle my business on both sides of this. Let's get into this event, okay? I just wanted to touch on that because the amount of people who watch NXT is really starting to get to me. I'm gonna have maybe a couple hundred people who will stop in and hang out with me during my stream tomorrow for Money in the Bank, and seeing 20 plus people hang out with me for NXT when this is the much higher quality product makes me think, guys, come on, watch some NXT. It's not going to hurt you. It's good for you. It's honestly like eating your vegetables, but they taste like steak. It's the best of both worlds. All right, stop on by. So we open NXT TakeOver Chicago with Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch versus the Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. And this match had all of the telltale signs of we need to get the show started, but maybe it's not going to be the best match because honestly, when you open the show with something like that, it it just gives this feeling of okay, well, we got better things to come, but man, this match was incredible. This match literally destroyed expectations. I knew Danny Burch was going to bring that stiff style, that European stiff style. Okay, if there's strong style, there's stiff style. Okay, I'm coming up with stiff style. All right, Danny Burch might be the king of stiff style. Him and Oney Lorcan, they're both like they get to one of them takes off the crown and gives it to the other one, then he takes it back and puts it on his head. The kings of stiff style. That should be the name um, of their tag team. They shouldn't be Burch and Lorcan. They should be Kings of Stiff Style because these guys look like they're literally trying to hurt somebody out there. And they don't. And they don't hurt anybody, which is incredible, dude. This match, my goodness. I was scratching my head like, okay, so wait, what's going to come after this? Because these guys, oh man, the near falls, the the parts that would have been the end of any other match were just the beginning of this match. They absolutely killed it. If I could tell you spot by spot what happened in this match, you would think I was making it up. If you didn't see it, you'd be like, "No, Gritty, that didn't happen." Yeah, yeah, it did. There was a spot near the end of this match that I especially loved, where Oney Lorcan had the single leg Boston Crab locked in on Roderick Strong. I'm talking about all the way locked in, okay? And he was so far from a rope, there was no hope for a rope. He was on an island in the middle of the ocean. He was Tom Hanks' Castaway. All right, nobody's finding you. Nobody was finding him. But guess who was trying to find him? Kyle O'Reilly, because that's his partner. He wanted to break it up. But guess what? Here comes Danny Burch. Danny Burch gets him in the crossface. No, you ain't stopping this. Let's win this match. It looked like we were about to see brand new tag teams. Stiff style, better better name. British stiff style. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's super stiff. Anyway, so he's wrenching on the face, but Kyle O'Reilly, he's so. Oh God, this match is just. Man, I am absolutely in love with every match on this fight card. You guys are about to witness that by my review. So he's got the crossface locked in on Kyle O'Reilly, but Kyle O'Reilly, he uses his wherewithal and his ring knowledge to position himself just perfectly to start kicking Oney Lorcan in the face to release the hold because he realizes Roderick Strong is the legal man. So no matter what happens to him, Roderick Strong can't tap. Okay? He could do whatever he wants, so he's wiggling his body around. He's doing everything he can just to get the hold off of Roderick Strong, and he succeeds by kicking the face off of Oney Lorcan, which breaks the hold. The crowd is going crazy. I'm losing my mind, man. I'm having to. I might need a prescription or something, man. I'm losing my mind out here. It's incredible. Okay. Holy moly! But about halfway through this match, Adam Cole, he's like this guy right here in the background. As you guys can see, I'm at TakeOver, guys. I'm at TakeOver right now, to give you guys the freshest, hottest review possible. Adam Cole, he saves the match by pulling. I think it's Kyle O'Reilly pulling him out of the ring. Kyle O'Reilly, I don't know if Roderick Strong was like slightly injured or maybe he tweaked his neck or something, but Kyle O'Reilly, he was bearing the brunt of the work for the Undisputed Era in this match, and I give him incredible props. Every single match I see, Kyle O'Reilly becomes more and more one of my favorite athletes in the WWE, in the entire world when it comes to wrestling. Kyle O'Reilly, his match this Wednesday versus Pete Dunne, mixed with this match is just fantastic. The guy is just he's such a piece of profit for the WWE, and I'm honestly guilty for not knowing more about him before this. But honestly, there's only so much time in a day, and I got to pick and choose where I spend it. So I didn't know about him. Now I know about him. This guy is fantastic. So Adam Cole wrenches him out of the ring. Adam Cole gets thrown out by the refs. So there's no Adam Cole to save the Undisputed Era, which built the drama. The drama was just going ramping up, man. And man, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, they pull off the incredible finishing maneuver versus. Oh, Oney Lorcan took a heck of a bump too. But anyway, he was standing on the top rope and he got thrown off the top rope, did a front flip, landed on his back on the apron. I'm not kidding. Oh man. Anyway, the end of this match sees Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly hit a duel. It almost looked like the Wasteland. You know that move that the Ascension used to do to people all the time? What's it called? The Wasteland? Oh, Fall of Man. It's called the Fall of Man. It was like the Fall of Man. It was like a spinning uppercut and a sweep at the same time that just straight up decapitates you and takes your legs out at the same time. That's what happened. And they got the 1-2-3. So Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, they put on such an incredible match, but they come up just a little bit short versus the Undisputed Era, and they walk out with the same championship they walk in with. They retain the titles. Undisputed Era, NXT Tag Team Champions, still. Incredible. Fall of Man, yeah. So, that was just fantastic. I'm like, okay, here comes the women's not the women's, the women's championship match, because I expected it to have that ebb and flow. You know, there's normally like ups and downs in NXT, in WWE pay-per-views as a whole. They give you something that's super duper hype, give you something a little bit less hype, then they ramp it up, then they bring it down, then they ramp it up, then they bring it down, so that you can get up and get something to eat or whatever. But this pay-per-view had none of that. This pay-per-view was just up and 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 up. It just kept going, man. It was like a rocket ship taking off. Goodness gracious. But it wasn't the women's championship match. Next match we got was actually Velveteen Dream versus Ricochet, right? Yeah. Velveteen Dream versus Ricochet. This was the anything you could do, I could do better match, and I expected to see Velveteen Dream stepping up to the plate and doing all kinds of flippy stuff and showing off the fact that he can actually hang with Ricochet, who happen to be the two guys that are over here right now. Hang with him on an acrobatic level, but what I actually got was better than anything I could have imagined, because even Ricochet was deciding that he wanted to show he could do anything that Velveteen Dream could do, but do it better. He actually landed Velveteen's signature on Velveteen Dream. Ricochet hit him with the Death Valley Driver, hit him with the Purple Rainmaker. He even went up top and posed first. It was just incredible. There was also incredible, stupendous spot off the apron where Velveteen Dream picks up Ricochet into a vertical suplex and holds it there, and then drops him off the apron into a superplex. Oh my goodness, man. This match just had all the earmarks, all of the marks of just a match of perfection. This match had everything that I was looking for from these two. It was not a disappointment in any way possible. Velveteen Dream comes out to the ring in his finest Hulk Hogan gear. Yes, he actually had an entirely Hulk Hogan themed outfit. He had the scarf, the frilly feather scarf with the red and yellow. His tights were red and yellow. He was wearing his own version of a Hulk Hogan shirt. At the bottom, it was all frilly and stuff, but you could still tell what it was supposed to be. He gets in the ring, he rips his shirt off. He's doing the poses and everything, and he all throughout the match he's hulking out on him and stuff. I loved it, man. He's an ultimate showman. The guy is just a incredible athlete for WWE and for NXT, and I was just thinking the whole match, this guy's got to get the win here. He's got to get the win here. Well, Velveteen Dream, gosh, man, he impressed me so much. And Ricochet, of course, Ricochet impressed. Ricochet had a spot where he springboarded off the top rope to 3/4 of the ring and just hit an elbow on Velveteen Dream. The guy's leaps, he looks like he's a video game character, just bouncing around this place, doing everything. Just Sonic the Hedgehog, Ricochet the Hedgehog, dude. Finally, it comes down to it, and Ricochet hits the 630 senton across the chest of Velveteen Dream, which he had been doing a good job of rolling out of the way and making sure that he's not gonna catch it. But it just the amount of experience caught up. You could tell that Ricochet had been in a couple more experiences like this, and he just went to the well a little bit better. He rolled out of the way of a leaping purple Rainmaker, almost all the way coast to coast with the leaping purple Rainmaker from Velveteen Dream, but Ricochet rolled out of the way, and he used that to really turn this match around, and that 630 senton just perfectly across the chest of Velveteen Dream puts the match away, in a match that was just classic. I can honestly see this match and the first match being two of the match of the years already. Two of the matches of the year already, and we're only 2 matches deep into this pay-per-view. 2 out of 2 matches of the year already on one pay-per-view. It's absolutely incredible. I was saddened that they didn't give this win to Velveteen, and I hope they're not just gonna keep on giving him losses, because if you guys really think about it, Velveteen's been on the losing end of a lot of his feuds. He's been on the losing end of a lot of his feuds, and also he's just lost a lot. He lost his last match as well. Him and I mean, it was his fault because he hit the rolling Death Valley driver on Ricochet instead of winning the match against Lars Sullivan. So it's his fault, but still, man, he's got losses on his belt. It's crazy, but I guess they just wanted to keep Ricochet looking strong. Maybe they have some title plans for him. Him versus Aleister Black would be great. But I really want Velveteen to stay at the top of the fight card, man. The guy is just such a enthralling, and just when you see him, when you see his mannerisms and everything, he just keeps you tuned in. It's like he said in his promo for this and earlier when he was like, he's got it, that just in it. Like when you see it, it keeps your attention. And I love it so much. So I hope this does not mean he's going to go back. He's going to go down and he's going to start having a feud with Cassius Ohno or something. Trust me, I love everybody in NXT, but I want to see Velveteen stay afloat and not have to go back down and start fighting people like Tito Sabatelli and stuff, man. So let's hope this does not mean that Ricochet is going to start going to the top of the heap and Velveteen's going to go down. I hope that they just continue on or something. Great match, though. This match, in my book, perfect match. Nothing wrong with it at all. Literally nothing wrong with it. I'll go back and watch it again. Maybe I'll find something, but as I was watching it live, I was just thinking this is perfection. Absolutely perfection. So, next up we had Nikki Cross challenging for the Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler. And this match really helped me to understand that Nikki Cross is just doing the whole insane thing at least 10 times better than Dean Ambrose. Okay, Dean Ambrose should study this match right here and incorporate this into his style pronto. Because if Dean Ambrose comes back and he is more insane than ever, and he's acting like what Nikki Cross was doing in this match, it's going to be so good for the main roster. It's exactly what's missing. Somebody who's legitimately insane. Not somebody who just comes out and talks to a plant or names a plant and then wrestles like he's a normal guy and just kind of goes every now and then. That's not crazy. That's just somebody with a little bit of something out of whack. That's not unhinged. That's not insane. I've always thought this about Dean Ambrose. It's like, dude, if you're going to be insane, then do it. All right? And I hope he takes a page from this book. Nikki Cross played the perfect psychotic, insane individual in this match. There were several times she had Shayna Baszler just shook from the start of this match. Shayna Baszler was looking at her. She was pretending like she was gonna punch her, and Nikki Cross was not even moving. She's like, "You're not punching me." And then she turned her back to her, and Shayna Baszler was over at the side of the ring, and she runs up, and as soon as she starts running up, Nikki Cross just turns around and starts laughing at her, and Shayna Baszler just, what the heck, out of her mind. It's so incredible, and she did not stop there. She showed that she was just laughing at damage that Shayna Baszler was doing to her, shaking off incredible amounts of just beating that she's taking from Shayna Baszler. Shayna did a really good job of keeping it together, but also freaking out here and there. This match was one of the finest women's matches I've seen in recent history, and it didn't even have anything super crazy. Didn't have anybody doing gainers, shooting star presses, or any of that stuff. But it was incredible storytelling. You had a person who's supposed to be a hardened, just battle hardened veteran who's going to put fists to your face versus somebody who just doesn't care. Like, just doesn't care about getting hurt, doesn't care about your style, doesn't care about how much you've done in the UFC. Just somebody who's legitimately just appears to be crazy. And it was just such a clash of styles, like AJ. Such a clash of styles to where the match was compelling on levels that I guarantee you nobody was expecting. Nobody was expecting this match to be this entertaining, and Nikki Cross, man, what a man! I don't know if she's going to the main roster after this, but she does. I hope they just let her act just like that. Don't do anything to her. Just leave her just like that. She'll be so awesome for the women's division. She'll throw a monkey wrench in all this just cookie cutter stuff that's going on the main roster right now. Just leave her alone. Leave her just like that. If she goes to the main roster, if she stays in NXT, good. Because I honestly think she's going to be better utilized in NXT. So the match winds down. We get to the final spot of the night, or for these two at least. So Shayna Baszler slaps the submission on her. She's choking the life out of Nikki Cross, and Nikki Cross is on her back. What's this? Somebody's giving 15 bits. Oh my goodness, 15 bits dropping in the cup. I thought that this was above the chat. Where is it? Where is it? It's below the chat, obviously. Where is it? It should be way up high. Alright, where's the chat? Hang on. I'm going to replay it. I'm going to replay it for you. Let me just make sure that I got it. If I can find it. Aha! Here we go. Yeah, I don't know why that's not above the chat. Here we go. Let's move that up to the top. Replay it for you in just a second. So, final spot of the night. Nikki Cross is down. She's getting choked out. Shayna Baszler has it locked in, and she's just wrenching the neck and turning her face all kinds of colors. Nikki Cross, the camera zooms in, and you can see her face, and she's just smiling. She's smiling. She's getting choked out, and she's smiling. And then her consciousness just leaves her, and she fades off, and the ref's like, okay, it's over. So they call the match. Shayna Baszler wins by just passing out. Nikki Cross just passes out, but that spot at the end, just that final look that you got where Nikki Cross is just smiling from being choked out, it's perfection, man. It's perfection of her character. It's incredible. Incredible. Absolutely lovely, absolutely awesome outcome, and I must say, I'm glad that Shayna Baszler retained here. I would like for Nikki Cross to not have to hold that belt, because honestly, that belt, it doesn't mean as much as just dominating and doing good stuff in NXT. So I'm kind of glad she didn't win it, because then she'd have to stick around longer, and we'd all be like, okay, well, I guess she's down there, and they'd have to have the run back, the rematch, and all that stuff. And I honestly just think Nikki Cross is ready for the main roster. As long as they have something for her when she gets there, it's all good. What an incredible match. Do I think Shayna will be a DLC or in the main game? Should be in the main game. I don't understand why they would use DLC to put anybody in the game who's been around for like months before WrestleMania. Normally, the reason that anyone becomes DLC in a 2K game is because they either weren't on the main roster before WrestleMania, or even the months before WrestleMania. If they weren't there for like a month before WrestleMania, 2 months before WrestleMania, stuff like that, that's when they'll use like DLC classically. But we're talking about WWE and we're talking about 2Ks, two of the most inconsistent companies on the planet. So when it comes to them following their own rules, so I would say no. I would say no to DLC. I'd say that Shayna Baszler, Velveteen Dream, everybody. Maybe Ricochet will be, maybe Ricochet, EC3, Adam Cole, I could see them being DLC, but when it comes to Shayna Baszler, she's been around for months and stuff. I don't see them using DLC on her. Maybe they'll use DLC to put some of the Mae Young competitors who they've actually signed to contracts. Maybe put them as DLC. I don't see Shayna Baszler being, especially since she's NXT champion. I don't think they're gonna do that to her. I think she'll be main roster stuff. I don't think you'll have to pay for DLC to get her. But I could see them doing the Undisputed Era pack where you gotta get DLC to get all the Undisputed Era or something. I could see that. So yeah, thank you for that question. Definitely do not think Shayna Baszler is going to be somebody you'll have to pay for extra. I don't think she'll be DLC. So then we go on, and this is where we get the confirmation that Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are going to be the main event of this pay-per-view, which I think is a great idea because this match coming up wasn't as good as what happened at the end. So it's Lars Sullivan taking on the NXT champion himself, Aleister Black, which I'm glad to see him back in action. I wish that they would let him wrestle more often because if there's one thing that I would change about NXT is I would showcase the champions more. I'd let them have, a 5-minute match here, a 6-minute match here. I wouldn't have them do barn burner matches on NXT, but I would definitely keep them on TV a little bit more often or on the network a little bit more often because just seeing promos, oh, he's gonna be here next week or 2 weeks from now, we're gonna see him. It doesn't breed that respect and that fear of this champion. It just makes it so yeah, I heard that guy's champ, but there might be times where you don't see these people for a full month. Think about that, man. You don't see your champion for a full month. And this is not Brock Lesnar we're talking about. These are guys who are on NXT. We should be seeing them every now and then, maybe every other week. Give them a match or something, even if it's short. Give them like a segment where they have to fight or something, man. Just something, because I honestly think the build towards this is what made it so that this NXT Championship match doesn't matter as much as other things on this fight card, and even NXT agrees with that because they did not make it the main event. But man, was this a good match. Lars Sullivan and Aleister Black have a great chemistry together. Um, as expected, Lars was just the brooding beast that just kept coming at Aleister Black no matter how many times he'd strike him and hit him with combos. Lars Sullivan had the answer to it with just brute strength, tossing him in the air, throwing him across the ring, hitting him with pop-up scoop power slams, just destroying Aleister Black. Aleister Black did a great job of selling throughout this whole match too. Um, Lars Sullivan had this match pretty much in the bag. I don't think he ever hit the freak accident though, and I think that's the story of this match. He did not hit the freak accident as far as I saw, and he came off the top rope to hit him with the signature. Because I think that leaping headbutt is Lars Sullivan's signature. He comes off the top rope and just headbutts the heck out of you. And the force of this guy coming down on you with his head is just devastating. But Aleister Black got one knee up, which was the story for the rest of the match, pretty much. Because he got one knee up and hit Lars right in the face as he was coming down. And it stopped Lars in his tracks. It hurt him a lot. You could tell he was just holding his face. But also, Aleister Black was visibly limping and hurt, not able to deliver the strikes correctly. It was just such a great piece of storytelling here. And Aleister Black, man, I didn't know this guy was so good at selling, but he kept the focus on this knee the whole time. The whole rest of the match, it was just great. So fun. But it became too much, and there was an incredible botch at the end of this match. Incredible couple botches, but two I really want to focus on. Lars Sullivan seemed to stop a little bit short of a spot they were supposed to be doing, and Aleister Black was sizing it up. He could tell exactly, and Aleister Black, he's such a good striker, he could tell exactly where the chin of Lars was supposed to be because Lars was coming towards him. So he readies up the black mass or the fade to black, whatever you want to call it. I call it the black mass because that's what they called it for like a whole year. So the black mass is coming, and he misses completely. There's not even the wind from his black mass should have grazed the chin of Lars Sullivan, but Lars Sullivan sells it anyway. He's like, "Oh," and he stays down, and it's late, and it's so far away that there's no way you could even remotely think that he hit him with the black mass here. So Then Aleister Black falls into the pin, goes for the pin, does not get it, which I'm glad, because if that would have been the end of this match, we'd have been talking about it forever. Remember that time that Lars Sullivan lost to nothing at all, lost to a ghost? Um, so he missed wildly. Then they got up, they did some more spots until um, until once again the Black Mass is trying to be delivered, but Lars Sullivan is once again out of position, and also Aleister Black delivers it so low it could have never connected with the jaw of Lars Sullivan. He delivers the Black Mass so low that it hits Lars like in the bicep. It's not anywhere near his head, but Lars still goes down like it really cracked his jaw. Finally, finally, we get like a legitimate Black Mass while Lars is on his knees, and it's the same Nia Jax spot. Remember that spot when Nia Jax was fighting Asuka, and it looked like Nia Jax was just gonna rip Asuka apart, but that at the end, Nia Jax is just on her knees screaming for no reason when she should have just pounced and won the match. So Lars Sullivan is doing the same thing as Nia. He's on his knees going rah rah, and then crack. Finally, the Black Mass lands true. 1, 2, 3, game over. Aleister Black retains the NXT Championship. It was a really clean, good match up until that point, but those last couple botches and just the miscommunication, you could tell they were out of sync with their bodies. Like the whole match was good. It just seemed like they tried to get back on track, and they messed up a couple times doing that and just threw everything off for a good like minute and a half straight. But good thing he actually landed one at the end there and puts away Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan is bleeding from his mouth, which was a cool touch. I would have liked it if Aleister Black would have been the one bleeding to give extra legitimacy to Lars Sullivan, because I'm not sure Lars Sullivan's going to get another title shot anytime soon, and I'm not sure where he goes from here. So it would have been really nice for him to have drawn blood from the NXT champ and then go on into whatever else he's going to do. Um, Instead of having Lars be the one bleeding, because then it's like he got shut down and also he's bleeding. I think it would have been a really good touch if Aleister Black would have been the one bleeding, to show that the champ is fallible, the champ is possibly dethroned, and Lars could possibly be one to do it later on. I think that would have been a really good touch. But either way, still a really good match. The ending of it did not tarnish the match completely, but it's definitely something that's going to be stuck in my mind when I think about this match. Um, so, after that, we go to the final match of the evening, which is Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. I'm not going to dwell on this match too long because just trying to commentate everything that happened in this match, it's not going to do it justice, okay? This is why I started off this entire review with you guys got to watch NXT, all right? Don't even worry about how great this match was. If you didn't see it, it's time to boot up your WWE network and watch this match, okay? My review is not going to do any justice to how brutal this match was, how much of a spectacle it was, how much the crowd can actually be behind a WWE product. The crowd was swearing at this match. The crowd was doing everything. It was just everything you could ever want from a WWE based event. I'm serious, man. This was, man, just the blood rivalry behind this. I'm not saying blood as in they bled. I'm saying the blood rivalry. You could just tell the caring, like they actually cared about each other as they were destroying each other. Which is, how do you do that? How do you try to destroy somebody but also show that you care at the same time? These two pulled it off from the start of the match to the end. They both came out with crutches. Tommaso Ciampa comes out to no music at all, just the boos of the crowd, of course. Runs down to the ring, starts off the match. They fight to the outside. They grab signs from people. One time Johnny Gargano grabs the sign. Well, Tommaso Ciampa grabs the sign, but Johnny Gargano got it. He rips the sign apart, and there's a stop sign inside of it. He's mashing the back of Tommaso Ciampa. He goes flying off of something to the outside, crossbody on the concrete. We go back in the ring. We go left. We go right. They pull out handcuffs. They pull out trash cans, chairs. Oh my goodness, dude! I was waiting for the kendo sticks. I was waiting for just anything, dude. There was an incredibly just brutal spot where just a backpack sidewalk slam right onto the steel steps. Johnny Gargano gets racked. The mind of Tommaso Ciampa is just so demented that he just comes up with so many different ways to just wreak havoc on the body of Johnny Gargano throughout this entire match. It's incredible. It's incredible. Then he grabs wire cutters, starts snipping the ropes that are holding the ring mat together. Snips the ropes, takes the ring mat off, takes the under mat off, the actual padding, and exposes this corner right here. Exposes this corner of the ring, exposes just the pine floorboards that are under there, and these things do not look nice at all. They look like they've been through things. They look like getting hit on one of those, getting your back to one of those, your head to one of those. It's just game set match for you. And they're exposed for a good portion of the match because they fight all the way up over here. To the top of the ramp, and the ref is like, that's enough, and then just such good camera work, such good presentation. The camera is on Tommaso Ciampa, and he's like, it's not enough, you don't know, they don't know, the crowd doesn't know, I know, it's not enough. He knows his ex-best friend, and as he's walking him up the ramp to even get there, he's saying this, we've traveled the world together, we've done everything together, you are my best friend. And it's so awesome because it's storytelling, it's promo work while they're pulling off probably one of the best matches that any wrestling company is going to see this year, maybe even a couple years. They're still telling the story during the match. It's just the attention to detail that I keep harping on. Stuff that, will we see it on the main roster? Maybe. I can't wait for tomorrow, man. Money in the Bank's gonna have to do something major tomorrow. If they even remotely want to try to keep these people as happy as they were at the end of this pay-per-view, they're gonna have to just straight up kill it. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I'm saying they're gonna have to step up what they're doing in this ring. So Tommaso Ciampa says it's not enough. He lifts Johnny Gargano's just almost lifeless body up on top of a bunch of equipment cases, and there's just tables set up on the outside that have laptops on them and lamps and stuff. Nobody's sitting there. It's just there for a spot. But he's gonna do it. He's waiting for the crowd, and there's all kinds of New Japan shirts behind them. It's a really great scene. He's about to just destroy Johnny Gargano for good, but Johnny Gargano springs into action, puts him in that same move that he got hit with before, that backpack sidewalk slam, and just wrecks him through the tables. His shoulder, Tommaso Ciampa's shoulder, is covered in blood from the top all the way down the bicep. Crowd's going crazy. They call out the paramedics. They wrap up the neck of Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano, he just takes a seat on top of the equipment boxes, and he's just looking at him. Oh, during that little exchange before they went off this the case, Tommaso Ciampa takes off Johnny Gargano's wedding ring, spits on it, and throws it. Just tosses it. It's gone forever, man. There's somebody in the crowd who's got a super collector's piece at this point. So he took Johnny Gargano's wedding ring off before that whole spot just happened. Now Johnny Gargano is sitting on top of the equipment boxes, just looking down as all these paramedics are trying to hoist the body of Tommaso Ciampa onto this gurney, onto this just onto the medical what is it called, the stretcher, onto the stretcher, man. And you just see Johnny Gargano is lost in thought, and he realizes his wedding ring is gone. And he starts saying no. He starts moving his head around. He's like, no, I can't believe this guy. I'm going to have to end this dude. So they finally, as they hoist him onto the stretcher, Tommaso Ciampa is screaming in pain because his whole body is wrecked. He's wearing a neck brace. Johnny Gargano hops off the equipment boxes and snatches the gurney and the stretcher and just starts wheeling it down to ringside. He unbuckles the belts, puts him inside the ring, and he's going after him. He handcuffs Tommaso Ciampa's hands behind his back, so Tommaso Ciampa is just incapacitated pretty much. All he's got is his legs, and so he's handcuffed. he puts the Gargano escape on him, and Tommaso Ciampa's just trying to tap so profusely, but there's no ref there. The ref is gone. Twice Tommaso Ciampa tapped, but there was no ref there to see it. So he had to break the hold. He goes to the outside because he doesn't go to the outside. He gets pulled to the outside by a bunch of guys in suits who were trying to stop him. They're like, no, Johnny, don't do this. And he just starts mashing all these guys in suits. I don't know who they were. They're like the shareholders or something. I don't know. He beat up a bunch of guys from the stock market. So he beats up all these dudes in these jackets, and he finally gets away from him. He tries to get back in the ring, but Tommaso Ciampa's right there to catch him, and he comes through to the second rope. He grabs him with his hand still handcuffed behind his back. He grabs him into a DDT as his head is coming through the bottom ropes, the third and second rope, and DDTs Johnny Gargano right on the freaking exposed pine boards, and you just hear this thwop, like this sickening crack of the forehead just mashing straight into it. Ref comes in. Ref's like, you see the ref, and the ref is like, dude, I don't know if I want to be part of this. Like, the ref even sold the match. The attention to detail is off the charts. Even the ref is like, I don't know if I want to be part of this, man. You might have just killed a person in front of me. You might have just murdered a man in front of me. But the ref is like, all right. 1, 2, 3, game over. Tommaso Ciampa gets the win. Johnny Gargano is shaking. You can see, if you watch the replay, Johnny Gargano's hand is shaking while the pin is happening. I don't know if he's just out of it or just the nerves of that moment where they know they just pulled off the match of the year again. I have no idea, but it's just the incredible energy and just booking and wrestling and just the chemistry, the placement, the storytelling, the coming back to old spots that existed before. You know, the best comedians are able to call back jokes they told you at the beginning of of one of their specials and keep hitting on it until you're like, dang, dude, I didn't see that coming. He hit me with it again. The same joke, but he made it fit into what he just said for the past half hour. That's what they did here. They pulled off the perfect comedy, but it was a tragedy because you saw two friends as the match ends. You see Tommaso Ciampa just laying on top of Johnny Gargano, and he's crying, and oh man, it's getting me too. And Johnny Gargano is just crying too, and you could just tell there's so much emotion. They just killed it. His wife comes out, Candice LeRae comes out, and she's checking on him while Tommaso Ciampa walks up the ramp, and he just waves by, and the pay-per-view is over with. And I'm telling you right now, off the freaking charts, man. If you don't watch NXT, I don't know, you're in here because you watch NXT, but I'm just saying, if anybody finds this later who's just thinking, hey, what's going on with NXT? Maybe it's cool. I heard they had an event tonight, and you're watching my review, you are cheating yourself out of the finest. It's like you could go to Outback Steakhouse, or you can eat a piece of just haphazardly fried meat that you found on sale because it's expiring tomorrow. It's that difference. I'm not kidding. The main roster is that piece of meat that's expiring tomorrow, and this is filet mignon, okay? It's cooked by Gordon Ramsay himself. You are cheating yourself. If you're not watching NXT and you claim to like wrestling, you are messing up royally, okay? You need to wear the crown of mess-ups if you're not watching this stuff, okay? The stuff brought tears to my eyes while I'm reviewing it. Think about it. 10 out of 10. Perfect pay-per-view, period. 10 out of 10. Maybe I'll give it a 9.9, just so that they have something to strive for. I'll say 9.9 out of 10. How about that? My rating, my official rating for NXT TakeOver Chicago is 9.9. Okay? And if Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan wouldn't have had that botch at the end, it'd be 10 anyway. I'd be like, whatever. Just look forward to getting 11 from me sometime. 9.9 out of 10. One of the best pay-per-views I've ever seen in my life. I did not think they'd be able to outdo TakeOver New Orleans. Heck yes, they did. Heck yes, they did. With a match fight card. They eclipsed everything possible. Okay? 9.9 out of 10. One of the greatest pay-per-views that I've ever seen. The match quality, the emotion, the elation, the crowd killed it. Everything was perfection. Good job, Chicago, too. Normally, I say a couple choice words about crowds if they aren't bringing it, but this crowd, off the charts, man. Chanting, cheering, singing people's songs, singing Aleister Black's song, just incredible, man. And then as it goes off the air, they're chanting "F you, Ciampa." Just incredible. Chicago absolutely murdered it. Just incredible. All right. This is the stuff that makes my $9.99 so worth it. Holy moly, man. Good luck, Money in the Bank. Good luck. If you even remotely approach this an in-ring product, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna absolutely lose it if Money in the Bank even remotely approaches this. You guys wonder why I give Raw and SmackDown like sevens out of 10, 7.5s out of 10. It's because this is what I'm looking for. All right. This is why. This is the attention to detail. This is the storytelling. This is the charisma. This is the chemistry. This is the stuff that I'm looking for if I'm going to give something close to a 9, close to a 10. That's why whenever you're here watching Raw and SmackDown with me, I'm like, oh, 7.8. Maybe this is an 8, maybe an 8. Because man, you see the difference. Raw, this. SmackDown, this. That's the difference. That's why you never hear me talking about no 9s and 10s for Raws and SmackDowns, because this is what I'm looking for. This is the stuff that earns that right to me. And they have so much more time. They have so many more matches. They have so many more opportunities to tell you a compelling story. Like, they could elicit these responses from me. It's just, I'm not saying I'm disappointed. I'm just saying I expect better if they want to get 9s and 10s out of me, man. NXT, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So that's my review. Let me ask you guys in the chat, because I'm gonna make you guys as famous as I am, even though I'm not famous. But I'm gonna bring you in. Please put your rating in the chat right now. Let the world know, because people are gonna watch this review, guys. People are gonna see this review. Let the world know what you say it is. I see Finish Hype King says 9 out of 10 already. FinnishViking 1Z says that it's a 9 out of 10. I highly agree with that. Highly agree with that. Put your rating in the chat so everybody can see it, because I'm about done here. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about this. What an incredible piece of wrestling that we have witnessed. Got to thank everybody who was here for the live stream as well. I do live stream during these events, so if you guys are going to be watching anything in the future, whether it's SummerSlam, whether it's Extreme Rules, whether it's just Monday Night Raw, normally if WWE is live, I'm live. So come on by, drop a subscribe on this video, drop a thumbs up if you haven't done that already. Visit the Patreon, visit the Twitch channel. Both of those things are just my name. Just add my name to any of the rest of those. You see how audibletrial.com is /Gritty Urban Saga, Twitter is /Gritty Urban Saga, Patreon is /Gritty Urban Saga. Just add twitch.tv, put /Gritty Urban Saga. You'll find me there. What am I seeing? Adam Baum says 9.5 out of 10. Second City Saint says 10 out of 10. Hawkeye says 9.99999. The 9s go on forever out of 10. Diamond says 11 out of 10. Neptune says 9 out of 10. Even with the 2 botches. Yeah, it was still great. Still great. Man, gotta say thank you to everybody who was here. Hopefully I didn't scream in your ear too much. Hopefully I didn't break your speakers with all the hype that I was having for the pay-per-view. But man, it's so worthy. They deserve it. I hope one day any of these athletes watches my broadcast to see what they've done for me with the epicness, dude. All those bumps and bruises they're taking. I hope they tune in to see some of my commentary, some of my reactions, some of my reviews, to see that, man, it's, besides your paycheck, you're making a difference in the world, man. You're giving me some freaking hype in my life, and some positivity. Even though you guys you're literally out there trying to hurt each other. At least that's what it's supposed to look like. you're doing a lot for people out here, man. You're giving people an escape from their lives and the things that might be bothering them. So I hope they watch. I hope they're seeing it. Rini says 9 out of 10. Yep, I'm streaming Money in the Bank. The pay-per-view stream is already live on the YouTube channel here, guys. It's already there. Just get to it and click set reminder. I will be live tomorrow for Money in the Bank. I'm also going live on my Twitch channel in just a few minutes. So I hope you guys will join me on my Twitch as well. But yeah, make sure you guys visit my YouTube channel, all right? If you're subscribed to me, guys, there's no better place on this planet to get some entertainment. That's what I'm going to tell you. Check my YouTube channel, guys. I see a lot of questions in here that are easily figured out by just checking my YouTube channel. I put all the reviews up ahead of time, all the streams up ahead of time. I also have gameplay from the new Resident Evil 2 remake with no commentary, so you guys can hear all the sound effects and really get scared. I also have gameplay from World War Z. That game's looking fun as heck. So check out the YouTube channel, guys. There's all kinds of stuff on there, not just wrestling, but if you're looking for wrestling, you found the spot. Thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys so much for being part of this, and I will be seeing you, well, hopefully in a few minutes over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GrittyUrbanSaga. But if all you care about is live wrestling reactions and reviews, then I'll be seeing you guys for Money in the Bank tomorrow. Much love, much respect to everybody who came on out. Thank you everybody who left bits in this cup right here, and thank you for everybody who's considering donating. We still didn't knock off the champ. Ricky Gray only takes $3 to take down the boss. So, guys, if you got $3 in your pocket, I know where you could put it. At the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Okay, if you got money, that's where to put it. I'll see you guys there. Gritty Urban, out.